So folks who cover third shift, so I think that's generally 11 p.m. to sort of 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Uh, Biologically, um, is their daytime sleep peak in terms of melatonin, growth hormone, cortisol? Is that going to be similar to someone who's regulated on a nighttime schedule?
Yeah. I think the key point is that the assumption always was by employers is that their employees will adapt to the demands of working at night. And they
Mhm.
don't, more or less. Uh, so why? Why? Of course, when you cross multiple time zones, you do adapt. So why don't shift workers? And we go back to light again. And this is what's so cool, because you're under relatively dim light in the workplace.
Yeah.
But then you experience bright natural light on the journey home or on the journey to work, and the clock will always defer to the brighter light signal as daytime, which of course it is. And so that's why most night shift workers don't adapt to the demands of working at night. Now, so it has been shown. I mean, the Harvard group showed that if you increase the amount of light in the workplace to 2000 lux or so, and you hide people from natural light during the day, people will lock on to the light signal and adapt. But that's for most people just not practical. And Josephine Arendt, who sadly died earlier this year, wonderful researcher, did a lot of pioneering work, and she did some work on night shift workers on the oil rigs in the North Sea.
Mhm.
And that was a group that did adapt. And why? It's because they were out on the rigs under huge, great arc lights during the nighttime, and then they slept in windowless metal boxes during the day. So they were effectively cut off from natural light. And of course, they
Mhm.
got huge amounts of light at night. But they complained. Josephine had a wonderful story because they complained bitterly because they felt, oh yeah, I can adapt, I can, to the demands of working at night. Problem is, when I go home and I want to be with my friends and family, I'm in the wrong circadian phase.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they had to deal with being misaligned socially. And I think, given the choice of do you want to feel awful at work or do you want to feel awful with your friends and family, the decision is I far rather feel awful at work. So
Yeah.
it's a real dilemma. So yeah, you don't shift, and of course there are real consequences of sustained and long term night shift work.
Mhm.